Hey, welcome back. Welcome to GZ Sports. I'm your host, Fry, and we have the man himself, Jackson. It's two of us here today, but we're still gonna take on the show. I'm gonna give you a wonderful show, right?
Mhm.
Vamos.
Yeah, vamos. Let's say the states. I don't want to give away a location for people.
Rain. You can't give them a location. I have the means to defend myself. I'm in the States, so
You
you don't know.
you got the means.
I went to Walmart and purchased a nice rocket launcher, so you don't know was safe and secured. Um, Yeah, so it's been nice. There's rain and stuff, but how is your side?
I'll tell you the same thing. There has been rain since yesterday. Since yesterday, it's just rain. I try go outside, cut the trees. So yeah, it's just been a lot of rain. The place very dark. I don't like when I pay a bill, but the place is dark. There's a lot of
No,
rain.
if
Not no different.
no shame for thief light. If me could have thief, I'm gonna thief light, brother. Yeah. And thief light, man.
Listen, we don't steal electricity, dog. We don't do that. We still pay bills.
You go on with a thief light. So so kicking off into football. First thing we're going to talk about is Champions League. For the first time in a long time, there are only two English teams advancing to the round of 16, which is quite sad because English teams have been dominating for quite a while. So, Manchester United have to in the bad batch, and also Arsenal. Arsenal? No,
Nah.
Newcastle. Yeah. So, yeah, the Champions League, but City and the other ones are doing good.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. Not even gonna mention them by name, bro. It's us. Like, oh my god. Hey, it's not that bad, We're not that bad with us.
Yeah.
They're okay.
Yeah, man. It we can go straight into it. Does this look good for the best of the league? Does this look good for the best of the league as it relates to like the English teams not performing in Europe this season?
Yeah, it doesn't. It really doesn't because they are the best league in the world, the English Premier League, and only two teams make it out. I mean, first and second make it out, third and fourth are horribly embarrassed in their groups. Um, it's sad, And you look at La Liga teams, Atletico, Barcelona, Real Madrid, they're all gone through. German teams look good. PSG are basically the only one from France. But then you have even Copenhagen. It's like a turning of the tide in a bit, but it doesn't bode well for the English Premier League. Seeing clubs as historic as well as Man United and Newcastle United not make it to the knockout stages, it's very disheartening, especially with the new Club World Cup format. That coefficient thing really does get knocked, and it will hurt them in the long run.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think Newcastle definitely had one of the rougher groups. So I didn't expect them to finish bottom of the table, but it as it relates to United though, that was just a horrible Champions League run. But yeah, so you go. Life, don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was the worst way for them to come back into the competition. I mean, yeah, first time in the Champions League in 20 years. Who you get? Oh, you get the best player in the world in Mbappe. You got the second best team in Germany in Dortmund. And you got AC Milan, who's got the best defense in Italy. Perfect start.
Yeah. Uh, who could be favorites for the title? Real Madrid, City, Man City, Real Madrid, City. What you think?
So there's only two teams for you.
Yeah,
There's only
yeah,
two teams there.
yeah. For me, how about you?
Well, obviously it's gonna be Madrid, but you have to at least put some flavor in it, bro. I mean, um, Madrid have would you say, the best team out there? I mean, the midfield is endless. Even with injuries, the midfield is endless. Man City looks like a shell of what used to be a decent team. Um, but for me, I think the dark horses you have to look out for are probably Bayern Munich. You know, the Bavarians with Harry Kane and Leroy Sané in the form they're in. It's it really does scare some people. I mean, you see them just walk through every defense they've ever played against, and then you have the likes of Kingsley Coman, you have Jamal Musiala. I think they're definitely the dark horses for the Champions League if it's not down to Real Madrid or City. One thing I said, and I know I will be right at the end of the season, but an Englishman will lift the trophy. Now there's three
Wow.
teams definitely with English people. That's Man City, Real Madrid, and Bayern. An Englishman has got to lift it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's yeah. I do agree. I would also like to add that Bayern being the dark horse, they also have a really good defense. Uh, Kim Minje and Upamecano. Upamecano, his form is on and off every now and then, but against United they look exquisite. It's against United, but they looked exquisite, and they I always like Kim, and their defense is looking really good. I know Bayern is always have been a side that struggle to with goals. All right. The Premier League. Moving to the Premier League, and we start by saying best wishes to Luton captain Tom Lockyer. Lockyer, right? Yes, I think it's that. Uh, he had
Yeah,
uh,
Lockyer.
he had a cardiac arrest against Bournemouth on Saturday, right? And it was quite devastating for him and the players and his family. So we just want to take the time out to be thankful that he's fine, because those things are serious situations, and we wish all players the best when they enter the pitch, and we don't want any nasty injuries or health scares like that, right?
Yeah, I mean we've been through one with Christian Eriksen a few years back, and this is the second time it's happened to Lockyer. It happened to him in the playoff final against Coventry earlier in the year. It's happened again. He is stable. Good. I like to say thanks again to those Bournemouth doctors who worked fast. Philip Billing, who stopped the game initially. Um, yeah, we couldn't have it because last week the Athletic Club game. I don't remember who they were playing, but a fan died of a cardiac arrest in that match, and we couldn't have that 2 weeks in a row. So we're glad Lockyer is fine. His family should get the best of wishes at this point in time, and we'll just, as the club says, as Luton says, to just monitor for updates from them in due time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's always good to see players get the support from the team, from the club, from the country, from football as a whole, right? And the Man United fight, graft, battle a nil-all draw against Liverpool today, and Virgil van Dijk was crying. I didn't see that, but I guess Virgil was crying. So, what's your takeaway from that? It's quite an upset from the Liverpool perspective.
Yeah, well, watching the game, I said it, even last season. I don't care what form Man United are in. If I'm playing one of the traditional rivals that we do play, it's fuck all and Man United. We went into this game expecting to get battered. I actually predicted a 2-2 draw. I don't know why I expected United to score twice, but optimism. But we got the draw nonetheless. We got the point. Yeah, Van Dijk was in tears. I mean, he was saying, "Oh, only one team wants to win the game, and look how happy they are with a point." I mean, didn't your team celebrate a 2-2 draw with West Brom? Bro? I mean, you're not any better. I mean, Roy Keane said it perfectly. Arrogance is what killed him because he needs to remember his team only have one Premier League title in 30 years. Um, Look, it's not a result many expected because everybody was Liverpool by 2 clear goals, Liverpool 5, Liverpool 6, Liverpool 9, whatever, and I'm like, I don't care what anybody wants to say. It's Man United Liverpool. You can never predict that game, never. I mean, when we were winning the leagues every freaking year, and I watched it over this morning when Berbatov scored the hat trick, you couldn't tell anybody that Man United were going to be that close with Liverpool because Liverpool were crap at that time. They weren't really that good. So you can never predict that type of game. It's a derby game. You always have to just watch it play out. And let's be honest, United's defensive display was so Italian. That's the highest level I can put it. It was very Italian. Rafa Varane. You know, I always have arguments with children because I have to call them children when they say Virgil van Dijk is better than him. Because I mean, Rafa Varane is the best defender in the world. Especially when he's fit on his day, there's no one better than him. I mean, look, Ramos is good. Ramos is one of the greatest. But when you're talking about now, no one comes close to Rafa Varane, and he showed why he was one of the best today.
Yeah, for sure. I also want to talk about. I checked in on the match a little later because I wasn't really interested in watching it, but I think I saw Mixas playing Falls 9. I've seen it for a couple matches now, and I just want to confirm if I'm losing it or did Eric Ten Hag answer our prayers?
No, so it was actually 4-4-2. It was Manu and Amrabat in the midfield with McTominay and Hoyland up front. It was actually 4-4-2.
Okay.
But yeah, it made no sense he was on the pitch actually. It didn't make any sense at all. I mean, he was not, listen, he had the armband and that was his job for today. That was literally his job for today.
Oh, I
And
also want to add. Did we miss Bruno?
God no. God no. We didn't. If any Man United fan says they miss Bruno Fernandes today, they're lying to themselves. Bruno Fernandes in that game, we will lose because he won't be
Oh.
as disciplined as McTominay. He won't stick to his marker. He won't be as physical. I mean, we didn't really counter. I mean, being honest, we had the best chance in the game, even though Liverpool had 34 shots. We had the best chance. It fell to Rasmus and Alisson made the save. I can't really think of a chance Liverpool actually had. I can't really think of
Hmm.
one. So, did the discipline of the team, you couldn't have that when Bruno Fernandes is on the pitch. He's all over the place. He's diving. He's falling. Yeah, nah. It was the problem is he's gonna come back into the team, but at the same time, we do need someone who can pass the ball ahead of Mainu and Amrabat. So it's a difficult one. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And moving over to Real Madrid, Bellingham, the English Zidane, Zizou himself,
Zero,
reincarnation,
zero.
Zizou. Bellingham
Mm,
scores again. Is he a striker? Is he a midfielder? Zidane reincarnation for sure. I
well,
definitely believe he is a generational talent for sure. And it's good to see that he has this brilliant form going for him, brilliant scoring goals and stuff.
yeah, Jude. Look, no one could tell me. What month is this? December. No one could tell me 6 or 7 months ago that Jude Bellingham, when he goes to Real Madrid, would be scoring all the goals. I mean, he's got 17 goals in 21 games. I mean, how many? I could actually count on about one hand how many strikers actually have such a good goal record so far. And this man is playing in midfield. Maybe Kane, but I mean, apart from Kane, it's nothing else. Um, Jude, you said the English Zidane. I mean, I couldn't put it any better than that. I mean, he does everything. He defends. He runs the midfield. He attacks. He scores. He's fantastic. He's a fantastic player. I said it earlier in the show. There will be an Englishman to win the Champions League. If Jude wins it, then I mean, how far back do we have to go for a midfielder to win the Ballon d'Or? Was that Modric 2018?
Yes,
So it
it
would have
was.
been 5 years going on for a midfielder to win the Ballon d'Or. I mean, even
Do
further,
you
you want
do
to go
you
all the way
think
back.
on this run of form, if he continues, he will be in contention for the Ballon d'Or?
Definitely, what's gonna stop him? I mean, look, people put Haaland, Mbappe, and Lewandowski players like that over Bellingham because of the goals. He's got the goals now, so there's nothing to do. I mean, all he has to do is win the trophies now. If he wins the Euros and Champions League, there's nothing to stop him from winning the Ballon d'Or. I mean, Haaland could score 90 goals in the Premier League. Doesn't matter. He wouldn't be the best player in the world.
Yes, I would also love to see a future where he does win the Champions League and also the Euros because it's been a while since England has won anything, so that would be that would be good. But I'm gonna keep my hopes kind of in reality. He's been good. I'm just glad that he keeps scoring goals. Yeah. So
Yeah.
um, Kane
Mhm.
is also on fire in Germany, slapping in goals left, right, and center.
Mhm.
Uh, he's in a good team now, so he's going to get 50 goals in a season. So
I
uh,
mean, he's on
yeah,
course, you know.
yeah. So it I think he'll give Haaland a run for his money in that Bayern side.
Mm. Yeah, look, Kane's got what, 21 goals so far. It's December. The season ends in May. You're not off when you say 50 goals. I mean, look, they might play Paderborn. You know when they play Paderborn, what happens?
Nice.
Um, exactly. Um, he's in the Bellingham boat. I mean, if he wins the Champions League and the Euros, what stops him from winning the Ballon d'Or? As I said, like, I've never said this ever, but England have a chance to win an international title have Kane. And the team is just so good. It's just if Southgate can actually do something with the team, you know. But Kane, the form he's in, the form Leroy Sané, Musiala, they're in around him. I mean, you know how good a team is when you have to bench Thomas Muller. That's how good they are, and you know, um, what can't they win? I mean, not the DFB Pokal, they got knocked out in the second round, but what can't they win this season?
Yeah, that Bayern squad is outright impeccable, and it's always a joy to watch them. Always a joy to watch them because it's quality football, quality players, quality squad. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna get back to you guys. Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, hope you drank some water and rehydrated. I sure did not, and I'm still thirsty. However, we're gonna get right back into it. I forgot to mention that this is the penultimate episode for the year. So next week we'll be having our break for the holidays. It's gonna be Christmas, the full swing in the holiday season. Here, my side, I've been seeing Christmas trees since November the 1st, so it's always been Christmas for me over here. But yes, next week, gonna take a break and then we're gonna have one final show for the year to end off the 2023 shows. Um, we want to talk about Pep. Pep has had one of his worst runs in recent memory. One win in six, and Haaland is missing. It's going to show the type of fan City has. It's going to show that City fans are really made out of glass, and that they're not really there for the club. And it is quite sad to see when such a brilliant manager struggles a little bit. They call for his head, even though he's done so much for the club. But it's interesting to see what's going on over there with City.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, look, I am looking for the pundits and the media to say, Guardiola has to be sacked. He's lost the dressing room. 80% of them want him out. Just like the Ten Hag treatment. For a manager who won 6 in 8 to one that's won 1 in 6. I want to see the consistency. Yeah, no, let's just forget that Pep won the treble last season and has won 3 straight Premier League titles. Keep the consistency in regards to he's lost the dressing room. I mean, did Eric Ten Hag not take this team from shit to contenders in one season? I need to see I want to see the articles from the Athletic, from Time Sport, from BBC, that Pep is under pressure, and if he when he comes back from the Club World Cup, if he doesn't beat freaking Luton, well, they did beat Luton. If they don't beat, Sheffield, if they don't win the next match, he's out. He's gone. He's
Yeah,
sacked.
that's the hypocrisy. That's the hypocrisy with it, isn't it? Because they're quick to jump on Ten Hag's back, as you said. But when Pep, because of his pedigree as a manager, they don't hold him to the same, or they hold him to different standards that they would hold other managers. But it's interesting that you brought up that point. I didn't look at it that way, but for sure you're right. I definitely agree with that. I want to see some accountability and some consistency. Yeah, that's the word. That's the word. Yeah. Uh, what happened in JPL this week? Well, not JPL. I did watch some schoolboy football, and I saw that there's always videos of Craig Butler crying. He's always crying on social media, and he was crying about his win for Mona, and it was quite heartwarming to see him because he's been trying to win with Mona for a while. So I saw that, and that was quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's glad he got the Manning Cup title. I didn't get to see the Oliver Shield. I had to be late on the road. I couldn't get up to the stadium, nor could I make it home in time. I think it ended about 4-0. Clarendon won, and Clarendon absolutely dominated. I think from the words of someone in the stadium, it was Pep Guardiola's Bayern versus this version of Luton Town. I was like, God damn it, it was that bad. I bet it's a good thing I didn't watch it. But yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. We always see videos of Craig Butler crying. He's a new Tyrese. Um, but this is why the same people keep winning over and over. Because I'm not sure if you know about it, but after Mona High won the Manning Cup, they regular tradition, do the bus parade, go around, but they in different fashion, Craig was riding his Harley on the front, went
Mm,
into Jamaica College on their school compound and verbally attacked some of the
security
some of
guard.
the
Saw
students
that.
there.
That video
You
was
know,
hilarious.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, no, look, it is hilarious, but it's a serious thing. This is why no one outside of the regular winners actually do it because they're calm and they know what to do. I mean, Kingston College and Calabar are the biggest rivals in Jamaica. When champs is done, I never see them go to each other's school with the trophy because it's just respect.
Yeah.
Already beaten you, it makes no sense. But listen, these younger players, younger people. I thought Craig was gonna bring the discipline. He did not, and it's not good to see from a man of his stature and his age.
Yeah, they verbally assaulted that poor security guard. He did nothing. He just came to work,
He
chilling.
just came to work, man.
And they drove up on him and decided to disrespect him that day. And it was hilarious, also horrible. I don't condone it, but it was quite funny to witness for sure. Yeah, we're gonna move to our segment. Savage Slaughterhouse is not here today, but the man himself, Jackson, will take over, right? So you can go
Yeah,
ahead.
obviously, I agree. But yeah, so Sav would talk about whatever he does talk about. Sometimes I'm not listening. Sometimes I have to be checking my phone as I constantly I'm doing now, right? Actually, just a little twist on it. Normally, he keeps it European. I'm keeping it a bit local as well, where we can confirm because I haven't seen it in any outlets locally. But Dujan Richards, whisper. He has started first team training with Chelsea.
Let's go. Let's go.
Still hasn't been registered on the website though. I still can't find him. I can't find anything about him. But he was spotted in training on Friday ahead of the game against Sheffield United. See him gliding past Thiago Silva, but who doesn't do that nowadays? Um, he's not
Thiago
really
Silva is
part of
what,
the
like 50? I think he's like
about,
50,
about
man.
38, They listen. Thiago Silva played alongside Maldini. That's as far as I'm gonna go with his age.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, Dejan looked okay in training. I don't really know the level of what training is supposed to look like. He did step out a few players. I saw some other younger players like Matos and Davide Washington. Um, they weren't a part of the first team group. They joined in for a six-a-side match and then they went back to their individual rounds up. But he is there, linking up with fellow countrymen Raheem Sterling, Cole Palmer. If you know that TikTok video, you know why I say he's Jamaican. Um,
Uh,
but for Dejan, Chelsea have this academy, they have this youth team, they have this youth setup that sends all their talented players out on loan. I remember the year
mhm.
with Lamptey, Reece James, and everybody, they had about 45 players out on loan. Is it more likely to see Dejan out on loan rather than continue training with the first team and just play some youth games?
For sure, for sure. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I saw some rumors that he was actually in the process of being loaned, but I think that would definitely be good for him to get some minutes in under his belt, uh, and some first-hand experience in s- in a top flight country with top flight leagues. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
um,
because Chelsea owns Strasbourg, so I don't think he'll go there because they already have their entire front three down there on loan. So we'll see what happens with Whisper. If it's even to go to the Championship, maybe the Bundesliga. But as long as he gets some game time, he does have the physical stature. It's just about mainly probably discipline with him at this point. As a young player, you have to keep your feet on the ground. You can't get too big for your bridges. Um, and from one Jamaican talent to another, this is one you may not be familiar with. Devonte Campbell. He
mm,
is an 18-year-old, no, like 20-year-old who is currently at Mount Pleasant Academy. He came through their academy there in St. Anne and is currently being courted by clubs in Europe, some by England as well. Um, he, what's the way I can say this? His representation is based in the United States and normally has players there, but this is probably going to be their first client to make it into the European state. As I was checking my phone, I did ask for some more information as I saw there were English clubs involved. And what I was told from a correspondent, he said that he was able to confirm that Swansea and Cardiff were just two of a number of clubs interested in Devante. And as of now, there is a Premier League club, but he's not sure as to who yet. They're keeping tight-lipped as to who that Premier League club could be.
Very
But
interesting. That's quite the information there.
yeah, but another Jamaican talent heading abroad. The front line could look amazing. Devonte Cole. Well, Devonte Cole, Ashley Young's not Ashley Young. Andy Cole's son, Devonte Campbell, Dujon Richards. You're looking at a front three that could take this country levels ahead. Um, do you think he does make it all the way up to the Premier League in January, or will he just have to go to one of those championship clubs in Swansea, Cardiff, or somewhere else in Europe?
Devontae Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of going to top flight club like what Whisper did. So I think it would be better if he went to a more championship team where he's sure to get some minutes,
Hmm.
sure to get minutes, right? I think that's always the better option, right? Yeah, for a young player. So that's what I think. I also want to add that I did see where the legendary Andre Blake, Jamaica's number one, right? He had a sort of goalkeeping training session with a lot of the Da Costa Cup and schoolboy keepers in I think it was St. Elizabeth, I'm not sure, but he gathered them and had I think it was a 3 day a weekend where he trained them and gave them some tips, some routines, and that was brilliant to see um, the the Jamaican captain giving back in that way. He's one of those players that always give back, but to see where he's invested in the younger talent is quite inspirational, and it's something I love to see.
Yeah, and if he can somehow manifest a new Andre Blake, but this time one that can play out of the back, we'll be loving it. We'll be loving it for a season.
Yes, Jamar Wait.
Don't believe in him.
You don't believe in him?
Don't believe in him. No. I'll
Uh,
wait on Kanaya Boys Clark to see if he's any good. I've already invested in Corey Adai's stocks, but right now he's been benched at Crawley Town, so that's not working out.
okay. Okay. I believe in Jamar Wait. He looks solid whenever he plays. I've seen him make a few mistakes, but he looks good on the ball to me, in comparison to Andre Blake. So I think Wait, and he's the number two.
Mhm.
My guy Hangrimson runs him out whenever Blake is injured or whatsoever. So yeah, but it's good to see that. And yeah, what was the guy you said you're interested in?
Yeah, so Kanaya Boys Clark, I think he's the number one at Reading now, if I'm not mistaken. Corey Adai was the number one at Crawley Town, saved them from relegation, but now he's been on the bench the last few games. So I mean, look, Boys Clark is only 21 years old. Adai is 27 or so. So there's a whole age gap there. Kanaya is more for the future than um, than Corey. Kanai was in Chelsea's academy. I mean, that just shows you how many people Chelsea buy on a daily.
Yeah.
And still speaking of Chelsea, but they might be taking out the checkbook again in January. Um, after spending 1 billion Great British pounds and having a team that's no better than Brentford, they will be going into the January window again. This time for defenders. I mean, I think they have enough defenders on the books. I mean, there are injuries. Let's be honest, they do have injuries in the centre back position, um, but they're looking to get another one. I'm just still surprised that even after everything, they're still not buying a striker. Because if Jackson is out, who the hell plays? And don't tell me Broja, because he's nowhere in Pochettino's mind right now.
Hasn't
But
been Cole Palmer playing number nine?
he's been playing false nine. They're kind of trying to have this. It's like what Scott McTominay is, like two forwards up front, even though it's just the one. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
like the same, but Palmer's actually good. But sticking on Chelsea, sticking on the defensive frailties. Jonathan Tah, however you want to pronounce it. I think in Germany it's Jonathan. Of Bayer Leverkusen, a player that I've known for about 7 years now. I can't believe he's still at Leverkusen. Chelsea are in for him. Um, I think Leverkusen will lose their entire defense this season or in the summer. But Chelsea going in for another centre back. Do you think this is a smart way to spend the money, or do you think they need to actually spend the money in that position, or is there
Uh,
somewhere else to improve, like probably a goalkeeper?
Chelsea doesn't spend money smartly since day one, so that's not adjective that I would use when describing uh, Chelsea. Um, Financially intelligent, they're not anything of the sort.
Mm,
But what they show a lot of what's the word? Not inspiration, drive. Yeah, drive to win, and they're always trying to change and better their squad, which is quite interesting. And a lot of the clubs are envious of what Chelsea do. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they spend that much money, but they do. And I think might as well, if they have the cash and they're willing to spend. It's quite important to note that if you have $10 billion worth of players, if the team is not coached properly, they will underperform. So as long as they keep that in mind, I think they can continue being a shit show. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, no, I mean, look, you're saying it right. If they have the money, they just go and spend. But the thing is, they had a very good scouting team, but Bowley sacked every single one of them. Got rid of everybody, brought in his own people, and right now they have an MLS goalkeeper in net because Robert Sanchez is injured. So they technically don't have a top 10 goalkeeper in the league. As I said, they only have the one striker. Um, I don't get, I don't get the obsession with buying another centre back at this point in time. It's like a FIFA YouTuber. every season they change centre backs. It just doesn't seem right. But I don't work in Chelsea's front office. I won't tell them how to do the business. If they do want to give me a job, of course I'll take it. But I'm not gonna tell them how to do
Yeah.
it. And final topic of today's show, a player that had, I would say, the world at their feet, Donny van de Beek. Finally, for some, or for him actually, he will be leaving Manchester United in January. He will be a loan deal though. He'll be going to Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. If I remember correctly, a loan fee will be paid to Manchester United, and the partial salary will be covered. And there is an option to buy of around 10 to 15 million euros. Um, Donny van de Beek, top 30 in Ballon d'Or rankings at Ajax before COVID, went to Man United, scored on debut, and he's virtually disappeared since. What do you make of that period of him in England after
Yeah,
that?
it's quite sad. It's quite sad because when he was purchased, it was obvious that he wasn't what the manager wanted. I think it was Solskjaer who brought him in, and I don't even think he was third choice as relates to midfielder, and it showed because he struggled to get game time. He struggled with injury. Mick Fred was the preferred partnership. It's really sad, and I think the only player that has had anything similar to what has happened to them, only player that has gone through similar things at a club is Calvin Phillips, and it is quite horrible for a player of that stature and that quality to have their career just disappear like that over the years. I think he should leave. I think he should leave. I don't think the money is worth it because he's definitely. I think he would be a world beater for sure as it relates to midfielders, right? So I think it should leave. If Eric Ten Hag, his previous manager, is not putting him on in the starting lineup, I don't know what is going to save him at Manchester United.
Mm.
Uh, the only player I've seen recover from that is a player like Maguire, and that's still America. I don't think it will happen again. So I think if take the loan deal and hopefully he does well and they get him out of there because we want to see players perform. We don't want to see them just rot away on the bench if they're good. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, it's very sad what happened to Donny because after Donny was bought, as he said, it didn't seem like Solskjaer even wanted him. I mean, Solskjaer wanted Fernandez. He got Fernandez. He had Pogba. He had McFred, as he said, but he wanted, at the time, he wanted Declan Rice. He wanted a midfielder who could hold the midfield. He already had his creative forces. I mean, he had Matic, but I mean, anybody could see, even Stevie Wonder could see that Matic's legs weren't really existent. And they brought him Van de Beek, and there was not good enough coaching to even turn him into a defensive midfielder over that time. So he definitely had no ways of getting into the team at that point. So, this loan deal, hopefully it does bode well for him. He has his medical scheduled for Monday, which is tomorrow actually. And yeah, hopefully if he does perform well in Germany, then options do come in for him, whether other English clubs, Spanish clubs, probably even staying at Frankfurt would be an option. All I would say is he's probably the lowest money flop I can think of because it was only 35 million, and normally flops are like, Sancho prices of 75 mil or higher. But it's sad what happened to Donny. It is very sad for what happened to him. But again, guys, thanks for being here again on this Sunday evening. This has been Jackson O'Brien and also Fry as well. I am gonna go and watch the rest of this NFL game because it's Dallas on, so I'm going to watch it. We're the best team in the world or in the league, let's say that. Only America play that sport. And yeah, I'm gonna eat my Sunday dinner too as well. Again, guys, no show next week. You will see us again on the 31st. Time to be confirmed. And vamos and happy holidays.
Vamos.